have a different cocktail for you today. Normally in these videos, I would be showcasing cocktails that the vast majority of you will have heard of, and I'll put my own little spins on them. But today, I'm going to be focusing on a cocktail that probably 99.5, 99.9% of you will have never heard of before. That cocktail in question is called the Tiki Tiki Bang Bang. It does come from this book, Let's Get Tropical, written by a good friend of mine, Georgi Radev, in 2019. Georgi Radev, I've spoken about him on this channel quite a few times. He's fast becoming a global icon for tropical cocktails. He owns a bar in London called Lackey Cane, my favourite kind of rum and tropical bar. It's also the easiest one for me to get to, but it is such a good bar. So first things first, let's talk about the rum that we're going to be using. Now, Georgi in his book lists 40 ml of gold rum and 20 ml of dark rum. Now, I kind of know Georgi's affiliations of who he uses and who he doesn't use. He's big friends with Plantaray. All these guys, so big friends. He's done deals with Pussers in the past. He pours Bacardi as well, the flavoured Bacardis and that. He's a big fan of all that sort of stuff. I think I'm willing to lay money that the original recipes, the original rums he used may have been Plantaray. But, you know, he's not just kind of there. He's got loads of different rums behind his bar. Could have been anything, really could have been. But he just lists gold rum and dark rum. For me, I am going to kind of keep the sort of a two rum blend, but I'm going in a slightly different direction just to kind of match his flavour profile, but with a different ingredient. So for me, my rum blend, I haven't really focused on these too much. The Stella gets a lot of love, but I also do love the Forza and the Lovers from Mr. Daiquiri as well. I don't use them as much as I probably should do, purely on price. But then, with prices of some of my other favourite rums that are coming at the moment, actually, these are really, really good value for rums. They're phenomenal rums. The Forza is a 47%er to start off with. It's a 5-rum blend. All of Mr. Daiquiri's rums are blends. This is a 5-rum blend. So you have got Barbados, you have got Jamaica, and you have got Guyana in there to give us those sort of darker rum notes, if you like. I think that's what Georgi's getting at. We've also got Guatemala and Belize in here. Guatemala and Venezuela rums in here as well. It is almost, if it was a little bit cheaper, Mr. Daiquiri, if it was a little bit cheaper, it would almost be the perfect cocktail rum. But of course, to make things cheaper, you need to sell more of it, and that becomes volumes and stuff. So, but on taste values, you know, old fashions or rum fashions, everything like that, it's a neat sipping. It's a fantastic rum. Anyway, we're going for the Forza, and I'm going for 30 ml, 1 ounce. Actually, that's a complete lie. We're going for 45 ml. Sorry. So another 15 ml of Forza. Just looked at my recipe and thought, yeah, 30 ml, that don't sound right. Now, Georgi has got cinnamon syrup in this recipe as well. So I thought it'd be kind of fun just to play about with, because I don't actually have cinnamon syrup. I've got tiki syrup with lots of different spices and everything going on there. But I don't actually use cinnamon syrup that much. Some of you might do, but what a lot of people will have is spiced rums, and what a lot of spiced rums actually contain is shed loads of cinnamon as well as nutmeg and all that. So I'm using Sly Dog's kind of original OG spiced rum. There are really nice cinnamon notes in here, so there's nutmeg and clove and other things going on, but it will give us that kind of spice vibe that we want from the cinnamon syrup that we're not actually using. So this is definitely 22.5 ml, 3/4 of an ounce. Love the aroma of drinks when I start pouring this stuff. It's so good. Now, it's also worth noting, I'm not actually doing too much to alter the flavour of this cocktail at all. It's just a couple of different ingredients to mimic the flavours in different ways, if you like. So instead of cinnamon syrup, I've got a spiced rum in there. Instead of the 40 ml of gold and 20 ml of dark rum, I've used a blend of rum, and then we've got spiced rum in there. So one of the big components to this cocktail is mango syrup. Now, I do know that Georgi is part of Real. He loves Real. Any bar he does will be Real syrups, okay? So I'm pretty much confident in the fact that even stretching back to 2019, the recipe, the mango syrup in his book, even though he doesn't call out brands, the mango syrup in his book would have been Mango Real. May have been Monin, I don't think so. I'm pretty confident in the fact it would have been this. So we're going like for like on this. It's a 20 ml. So this is just mango syrup. And as I say, I call these the premium syrup brands. I know many people don't think so because of the white there, but the labels never lie. Read the labels, compare brands, because this is just 40% mango, proper mango, no concentrate, no fillers, no anything like that, with 60% sugar. It's not concentrate, it's nothing like that. It's just mango with sugar. A great long life shelf stable puree brand for you guys, or syrup brand I should say, for bars and for you guys at home. Then I'm also gonna match his agave nectar, and he calls for 10 ml. So again, we've got Real's agave. Mango and agave is a great flavour combination, really good. Right, and then we want 30 ml, 1 ounce of lime juice. I'm just gonna point up there. You know guys what I'm talking about now. Look, it's a caveat, if you don't make that many cocktails, buy fresh limes. If you make a lot of cocktails, do not waste your money. Get stuff that actually tastes as good, if not better. They'll be half the price. It's that simple. Right, 30 ml, 1 ounce of my Boiron lime juice. In here, I've already got 45 ml pre-measured out, pressed, 100% pressed pineapple juice. Now, the little swap, because I do like to do swaps here and there, we're still keeping with orange, because he did add oranges into this cocktail. But what I'm actually using is Boiron's Blood Orange, because this is actually one of my favorite flavors from Boiron. This stuff is absolutely incredible. We did so Boiron came to Drinkstuff a few weeks ago and did like a little tasting with this. And around the room, they had all the flavors out there, and around the room, everyone fell in love with this. And this is, I'm not talking bartenders, I'm talking office staff, okay? This stuff is absolutely incredible. Blood Orange, really, really love that. I'm gonna kind of keep to the 20 ml that Georgie wanted in his original recipe. I think it was, no, 30 ml, sorry, in there. I'm actually doing 20 ml of Blood Orange puree. Okay, 2-0. And then Georgie calls for some Angostura bitters. Again, you know, as I say, I just always plump for my bitters. Just to kind of, if you haven't heard this spiel before, I won't go into too in depth, but all aromatic bitters are different on depending what brand you have, whether it's Angostura, whether it's Peychaud's, whether it's Miss Better's bitters, whether it's Fee Brothers, various others. Bob's, I think, have an aromatic as well. Loads of that. They've just different kind of profiles, but they're all aromatic bitters. Okay, I just fell in love with Miss Better's years ago for that aromatic. I think it was the first one actually, other than the foamer, and I just kind of fell in love with it. So I'm actually going for 2. I'm getting low in the bottle here. Yeah, that'll be do. So sort of 2 half pipettes for me. You never fill these pipettes up, so effectively 2 pipettes. And then this wasn't in Georgie's original recipe, but I do think this benefits. We are in a world now where bartenders do like to use quite a bit of saline in cocktails. It doesn't make your cocktail salty, it just elevates flavors. And just because it's got pineapple in there, it's got lots of flavors, I really do think saline, so it's a 20% saline solution, 20 grams of Cornish sea salt to 80 grams of water gives you 20%. We're just going for 5 drops, and I really do think this elevates this cocktail. Glass choice this time, again from Artists. Always have to give Artists a shout out in these videos for all my glassware. Thank you. This is the Onus Glitch glass. I think her name's Kate. I'm really sorry, I've forgotten her name. Kate Gerwin, I think it is. Basically won a competition. She's a US bartender. Won a competition to design a glass, and this is her winning entry from 2024. So Onus kind of made it, and Artists distributes it here in the UK. Available via Drinkstuff. Right, just strain this in. Now, if Georgie was garnishing up this cocktail, it would be flamboyant, it would be Larry, there'd be kind of things, there'd be flames, there'd probably be sparks going on. That's just his style. For us at home though, sprig of mint, and I've got a new Blood Orange from Frona, because I've got Blood Orange puree in there. Now, if you do like my style of cocktails, we've got a free PDF ebook that you can download where I show you how to riff up 10 of my favorite cocktails. The link for that will be in the description of this video, it'll be in the pinned comment, or you can scan that QR code. Now, this is a really simple, I put it in the brackets of tiki cocktails. I mean, the name kind of gives it away, Tiki Tiki Bang Bang. For me, I love, so the spiced rum is mimicking the cinnamon syrup that comes through there. But I love the rum blend that's coming on there. You've got the big, bold sort of rum, that Forza that's coming through. You don't mistake that. What you also get is that cheeky, fun, spiced rum element in there. I if ever I see spices in cocktails these days, knowing the UK market and how spiced rums really do sell, I will typically always try and substitute in a spiced rum because it is so easy to get. My point would be though, that if you see a recipe like that, don't go, so in this case, a full like 60 ml of spiced rum or whatever it was, 75 ml of spiced rum. I think that A, could be too sweet, B, too overpowering. So it's always worth balancing spiced rums with other rums. I think that is the perfect combination for cocktails like this. I love the blood orange influence in there as well, because now you get this tang. You know, if you've ever tasted blood orange, I prefer it to orange juice. I would adore blood. If I could get a ready supply cheap enough of blood orange just to drink, I would demolish it. I love it. The blood orange notes in there work exceptionally well. The mango, not overpowering, not over sweet, but beautifully complements the bitters. That is aromatic bitters. Again, Angostura is going to give you a slightly different vibe, the same as Peychaud's and Fee Brothers or whatever aromatic bitter is going to give you different vibes because they're all different recipes, but you still get that top note spice layer on there. Now, we'll put both recipes up on screen, Georgie's OG in the book and what I've just done here. But I know most of you will never have seen this recipe before, but if you look at Georgie's original recipe or just look at what I've done, what would you change out? Okay, how would you take this cocktail in a different direction? I'm not going to use the line, make it different to your competition, because I'm pretty much guaranteeing your competition, if you're running a bar or, you know, your friends wouldn't have ever made this before. So, you know, we're not going down that route, but how would you put your own fresh spin on it? For me, I've got a couple of instant things here, because now drinking this, as much as I didn't want the Plantaray cut and dry in the coconut daiquiri video, I think the Plantaray cut and dry in here, coconut with those sort of chocolatey notes in there, I think gives this cocktail a great, fantastic new layer as well. Because you've got the pineapple juice and the blood orange puree in there, I don't think a complementing flavour like pineapple rum would be your go-to in there at all. I think keep those there. But then looking down here, liqueurs and other flavours, for instance, banana. I think banana is going to work fantastically well in there. Again, for me, probably go Tempus Fuge at this time, as opposed to a richer banana note, and maybe substitute that for your agave, because your agave is giving you that richness and sweetness as well. So you've got a substitute there. What was the other thing I was thinking of? King's Ginger, like 5-10 ml of like a gingery note, an extra different spice note that comes through there. I think that might be a good shout. Berries, maybe cherry, maybe even a cherry top note through there. Essentially, it's a rum punch. So all these flavours are going to work, but just with what I've got there, I think my two big shouts are that Plantaray cut and dry and Tempus Fuge banana. I think they could be fantastic little riffs on this. Now, if you like what I'm about, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. This week, we've had kind of like a tiki-ish tropical rum week. I'm going to sort of dial that back a little bit next week, I think. I've only planned the first one, the very next video that's coming out. We're going to be playing with the limoncello spritz. I've got a few ideas to take that in a couple of different directions. So if you want that, I'll see you next time. But for now, cheers.